Bound by vows or bound by spirits. Regina Daniels' shrine marriage and the hidden dangers of unequal yoke. Bound by spiritual marriage. The internet is on fire again, but this time the flames are spiritual, cultural, and deeply personal. A man has claimed Regina Daniels wasn't married in a church or mosque, but in a shrine. Is this true? We don't know, but the claim has opened a door into a conversation Nigeria has avoided for years. This claim actually shook the internet. But before I go ahead into this video, if this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this beautiful family, you're highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. I think this will be the 5th video I am making, or 4th video I'm making in this particular direction. It will be good that you get the other parts in order to be able to get yourself acquainted, because actually we are actually learning from this so that we will not repeat the same mistake either for ourselves or for our seeds. So that having been said, please give this video a powerful thumbs up. Drop all your comments down below because they are very, very important. All right, so let's get into the video. According to the viral post, Regina Daniels' marriage is not just legal but spiritual, not just emotional but covenanted, not just a union but a binding. The man claimed she was married traditionally using ritual rites, that such marriage can involve oaths, shrine, ancestral seals, etc., and that she may not be able to just walk away. The internet exploded. Some believed it, others mocked it. But everyone actually talked about it, just as I am doing right now. Let's look at what the Bible actually says about spiritual bonding in marriage. Marriage is actually a spiritual covenant because Malachi 2:14 says, "Because the Lord was witness between you and the wife of your youth. She is your companion and the wife of your covenant." You can't exit a covenant lightly, because Ecclesiastes 5:5 says, "Better not to vow than to vow and not fulfill it." Some covenants actually is ungodly, because in Isaiah 28:18, Bible said there, "Your covenant with death will be annulled," meaning that there are people that have covenant with death, covenant with ancestral powers, covenant with certain deities, covenant with certain shrine, and so on and so forth. But God said that such covenant will be annulled, meaning some marriages were formed outside God's alignment and spiritual consequences must follow. Now let's look at the issue of these shrine marriages and spiritual binding in African tradition. Let's be honest, Nigerian marriages are not just romantic. They are cultural, ancestral, and often spiritual. Shrine rites may include ancestral oaths, libations, symbolic sacrifices, names spoken into altars, marital sealing rituals, vows witnessed by deities. If done, such covenants bind emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes mysteriously. That doesn't mean that Regina Daniels is under one, but the claim forces a national conversation on hidden marriage practices, because even during the time of wedding or marriage, we saw them wearing white in a related shrine setting, not actually in a church, as Regina Daniels is a Christian, or in a mosque, whereby the husband is actually a Muslim, but in a different setting that look more like a shrine than any of these places, mosque or church. So now, let's look at Regina's silence and the cry of many women. Regina's post shows this. One, a woman who is emotionally distressed. She talked about accusations of manipulation by the husband, Ned Nwoko. She also talked about claims of forced rehabilitation. Let's take a kind of a snap into that kind of rehabilitation issue. Before rehabilitation of somebody has to happen, there must be a kind of attitude, actions that such person is taking that is out of control. For instance, the husband called her a drug addict. The great question is, was she a drug addict before she entered the marriage? Now, before somebody tries to take drugs, there is an unpalatable situation around that person that the person is trying to calm, do what I call defense mechanism, like using a coping mechanism to cover that particular bad side so as to be able to condone such unacceptable behavior around that person. So if she is into drug, the great question is, why did she get into drug? Because based on her post in internet, she's showing us that everything is normal, she's enjoying. That's before this incident, that she's satisfied, she's enjoying her wealth, that it's better to cry in a Lamborghini than to laugh in Keke Napep, showing that no matter what she's going through, that she's enjoying it. But for now, this claim of going into rehab, because the husband have actually mentioned that she's drug addict, what actually took her into drug addiction? What are some of the unpalatable situations that she's trying to cover up, cope up with, using defense mechanism, which is drug, to be able to cover? That is something to be unraveled in that particular marriage. She also alleged about intimidation by the family. She talked about exhaustion, mental breakdown, and then removing her wedding ring on social media after few days after her own birthday, where she flaunted that she was given a diamond ring after she have lost the one she had before. How on earth did she even lost that one and suddenly a new one was given to her? Few days. I didn't even know whether it took 1 week. All this thing begin to buzz out. Understand this, when a woman begins to lose her peace, she begins to lose herself. Proverbs 17 verse 1 said, better a dry crust with peace than a house full of feasting with strife. Now let's look at the spiritual red flags young women should never ignore in this. Number one, age is not the issue. Alignment is. And you have to understand that there is age of maturity for one to be ripe for marriage. For instance, you need to understand this, that human brain passes some levels of development, and based on my knowledge, that brain developed fully at 26 years. And at that level of development, a woman or even man is now capable to withstand some emotional, psychological, mental, spiritual, and all-round stress and challenges. This Regina Daniel we are talking about married barely 17, 18 years and is now 24, 25 years. The question is she really matured to go into that particular spiritual alignment that now shattered her life, that she couldn't hold herself, and she come to begin to make counter video of what she have made before without any iota of shame anymore? That is, it left us with a lot to be desired. Number two, wealth is not the foundation of marriage. Character is. Charisma can elevate you, but it's only character that can actually put you there. So character is what matters a lot. A child of 18, 17 years is still developing, is still maturing. She have not actually formed character. And with that underage, she's now married with a man of over 60 years who has now formed fully his character, and not just formed fully his character, he's ripe, matured. His thinking is very far and wide from this Gen Z wife thinking. How on earth will two of them blend? Number 3, lavish lifestyle versus peaceful marriage. Lavish lifestyle is not equivalent to peaceful marriage. That somebody is flaunting wealth, have all the money in the world, does not mean that that person is at peace. And that is exactly what we have seen in the life of Regina. No wonder the Bible at the time say, pursue peace with all men, except which no eye shall see God. Now, when you are not even at peace with yourself, how will you be talking about having peace with others? It is a question for reflection. Number 4, you need to understand that traditional rights can carry spiritual implication. So before you think of marrying, getting into alignment with any man, look into their traditional rights and know the level of spiritual alignment and binding you are actually going to enter. If it is not all right with you, because of that traditional right alone, don't marry. Or you can come into a roundtable discussion and make some adjustment. When I was getting married, the truth is that some adjustment we are made in our traditional right, because I married as a believer, as a Christian. There are certain things that is happening in our place that we know that once you are doing this, you are totally worshiping idol, that we refuse to adapt to, and a kind of a new traditional right was adjusted for my sake and some other people that did not agree on some parts. Don't just jump into marriage with anybody when you are not 100% sure of what you are getting into and the type of rights and the spirit, shrine, and other things that will be invoked on you. Number 5, public romance means nothing if private pain exists. No matter how you try to show everyone that things are all right, but inside, charity begins at home, not outside. There is something that is not aligning. That is nonsense. In fact, that is what I call nonsensical nonsense. Go inside your house and package very well, and the public will reflect itself even when you have not even said anything. Now, that open show of shame, to what extent is it aligning with what we know before based on the outburst of show of wealth, affluence, goodness, and so on? And the worst is that you see some, if you talk anything contrary to those shows, they will tell you you are envious. Unfortunately, it is those people that will tell you are envious of her are the worst envy people, because spiritually we attract what we have, not what we want. And out of abundance of the heart, the man speaketh. Seest thou all those people saying you are envious of her, she's this? They are the worst envious people, but they are trying to hide it and then using an opportunity to bust out what they have in their subconscious. Let's look at spiritual danger of unequally yoked. Spiritual danger of shrine or certain marriage that is not contracted under God's ordinance. Because 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, be not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. These include 1, emotional mismatch. 2 of you will be mismatched emotionally. Number 2, value mismatched. You will notice that 2 of you can never align in value. Your belief system, your understanding, and some of your practices will be far different from the other. Another one is ancestral or ritual mismatch. You will notice that some of the ancestral belief, rites, and some things you are going to do and rituals will be totally different. And then it will end up with destiny mismatch, because whosoever you marry remains your destiny forever. Even if you separate, that part of your life that has been yoked with that person, there is nothing you will do to recover it back. Some of the dangers that has been done to Regina Daniels or that even Nedumoko is exposed to, and with all this a kind of internet buhaha and other forms of emotional discontentment, as well as a kind of manipulation in either of the destinies, can never be aligned again. For instance, she kind of boasts that I was married as a virgin and so on and so forth. Will she recover that virginity again? Her youthful life that was robbed off, the time that she's supposed to a kind of mingling with her mates, and then still thinking as a child she suddenly was made an adult, can it ever recover back again? These are some of the issues we are talking about. And the time she's supposed to be in school, she's now a kind of a married woman who has now gone through labor twice and give birth to our children. And you notice that whether you like it or not, giving birth alters a woman's life completely, both mental, psychological, emotionally, physically, and otherwise. Her life has been altered at a very young age when it's not supposed to be. So all these things are destiny mismatch, because whether she like it or not, her destiny has been manipulated. The level she may have been operated, because she was a star when all these things started happening. In fact, I've never heard of a kind of Ned Nwoko until when Regina married her. We all know Regina as that small star girl that was acting in Nollywood that everybody loved to watch. Suddenly, her marriage to Ned Nwoko brought Ned Nwoko to limelight and also helped to also announce her. But whether she like it or not, to a great extent, one is losing at the expense of the other. One gave out material possession, while the other gave us priceless possession, as well as gold that can never be purchased with money. Take it or leave it. Being a mother, going to through labor room is one of the greatest things that a woman brings to the table that can never be a kind of equated with anything. In fact, God partners with women in creation. That is why even Jesus, for him to come through to this particular earth, even when man is not involved, woman has to be involved. So that is to tell you, she have given out much more than she thought, or people are accusing her to have collected from this particular relationship, because she gave her priceless possessions. So daughters, women of Zion, before you give her your daughter to anyone, before you agree to marry anybody, calculate very well if the sacrifices you are going to make, does that person deserve it? Is it very easy for that person to drop you on the ground and shatter your life? Just like immediately this particular domestic violence issue broke out, the next thing, it was easy for the husband to say she's a drug addict and say many unspeakable things without mincing word. And it will left a lot to be desired, that based on what the Bible said, man, love your wife, woman, submit. Is there any atom of love in that marriage? Was that marriage contracted out of love? Obviously no, because by their fruit you shall know them. You need to understand this. You cannot enter a covenant where love is pointing forward and destiny is pointing backward. Two of them must align in the same direction in order for it to work out. So lessons for every woman and man. For women, don't marry money. Marry destiny alignment. Don't ignore red flags because of lifestyle. Don't stay silent when your soul is screaming. Don't lose yourself to maintain an image. For men, don't marry a woman whose star you fear. Don't use control to achieve royalty. Don't weaponize power against love. Don't hide behind influence to avoid accountability. For mothers, don't force your daughters into comfortable prisons. Don't push fame over peace. Don't choose wealth over wisdom, because this is, I think, the mistake of Regina Daniels' mom. That even if she say is the child that wanted it, just like Regina is claiming recently, being a mother of a 17 to 18 years old child, you should have a level of control both spiritual and physical, over your daughter, that when your daughter is insisting as if she's under influence, go down on your knee and begin to talk to God. That Almighty God, the creator of the universe, so long as you are the one that give me this child, every good and perfect gift come from you. She is moving into the wrong direction. Don't allow her to make this particular mistake, because the mistakes you make in marriage will remain with you forever. Now she's trying to break out. Is it now easy to break out with this shrine marriage of a thing that is looming about? And if she have done what she's supposed to do as a mother and not carried away by materialistic possession, I'm sure that the daughter will not be suffering like this by now. Let's talk about spiritual redemption and deliverance for broken marriages, because as we are discussing this, even though Regina Daniels' issues is being the focal point, a lot of people are also under some certain yokes in marriage that needed to hear this. Psalm 34 verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." This is a spiritual direction that can help you break ungodly soul ties with prayers. In my kind of channel, I have a lot of video about soul ties. If you need it, you can actually comment in the comment section. I'll bring it across to you to help you to know the best way to go about broken ungodly soul tie. Number 2, renounce ancestral covenant done unknowingly. Our word is energy. Our word carry power. It's the same word that God himself used to bring everything into existence and breathed the same energy in man, which made man a mortal God that have the power to create. That's why the Bible said in Psalm 82 verse 6, we are gods. All of us are children of Most High. And Jesus repeated it in John 10:34. Did I not tell you you are God? Being a God, you have the power to create. Use your mouth to reverse, to renounce all ancestral covenants you entered into, knowingly or unknowingly. Perhaps Regina Daniel was getting into that marriage in that particular direction without even understanding the in-depth of the covenant that she's entering into. She have the right to renounce it now. Next one, cleanse your mind with Psalm 51. It's a mercy psalm that God will have mercy on you. Psalm 91, that God himself will deliver you. It's a deliverance psalm. Psalm 27, you don't have to fear any man. Instead, you have to fear God, that the fear of God will liberate you permanently. And then the next one, use salt and water cleansing bath for spiritual release. When a land was unproductive, the inhabitants were dying, Elisha mixed only salt and the water, or pour salt in a clues like a clean basin and pour it into the head stream of that land, the entire land become cleansed. No wonder even Jesus said in Matthew 5 verse 13, we are the salt of the earth. God himself entered covenant wise with the children of Israelite using salt. And salt represent preservation. You can just for 7 good days get salt, add it to your bath water, pray on it that God renew me again, restore every virtue, break every unknown covenant, liberate me, just like that land was liberated from dying and so on and so forth by Elijah, that I am the salt of the earth. There are a lot about salt. Look, the sweat that comes out of your body is salty. How can you explain that? The urine that you are bringing out is salty. How can you explain that? That is a mystery that is beyond human explanation. How can God not see any other thing he will use to enter covenant with salt? It's still that salt he used to punish lost wife. Use it to pray that anybody that is trying to vote or connect you to a covenant you are not interested in, that the same way that God punished lost wife, let that person be punished. After that 7 days cleansing bath, because faith without work is dead, with those prayers you are going to pray, believe me, you will be set free. So if you are saw that is entangled in this type of thing, there is still deliverance for you. So finally, you have to know this. This is not just about Regina's story. It is the story of thousands who entered marriages without understanding the spiritual ground on which they stood. You need to know this. Marriage is not just a partnership. It is a covenant. And every covenant has consequences, good or bad. John 8:32 said, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So know the truth today and know peace. Don't make the same mistake of others. Learn from this mistake and your life will fare better by God's grace. So I would like to read your comment in the comment section, your controversies, your belief and disbelief, because I too want to learn from you. As you comment on this video, may God bless you and may God never allow you to make mistake in marriage in Jesus' name, or allow your seed to also make mistake by God's grace. So if you have not subscribed to be part of this family, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe, hit the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. Share it widely to everyone. I shall be helping a lot of people. As you do so, may God bless you. So with this, I say enjoy your day. Bye.